to the August 27th meeting of the Bella Vista City Council. Would you please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call the roll of council. Councilmember Lloyd.
Here.
Flynn.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Fowler.
Here.
Wozniak.
Here.
All present.
Good, thank you. The next is citizen input. For those of you who haven't experienced this before, this is an opportunity for you to state your position to council. It is not a debate and it's not a question and answer period. It's 3 minutes. And we have a timer up here because I know that 3 minutes can go very, very quickly. And if you're not accustomed to trying to keep to 3 minutes, I will politely inform you that the 3 minutes are up and I will ask that you yield the floor to the next speaker as a courtesy. Okay. Andrea? Andra, excuse me. Atterbury?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I don't think it's on.
They need the switch.
Can you hear me now?
There we are.
All right. My subject is our fabulous Bella Vista Library and Roxy Wright, the former library director. Today, I told Mary Ann Farner, who was a library director here, I'm just a library user. I'm the last one to learn anything. All I know is what I learned using the Bella Vista Library and working there as a volunteer once in a while. I found out Roxy was no longer working at the library when I asked a staff member, "Where's Roxy?" I wanted to tell Roxy something. The staff member said to me, "She's gone." I said, "On vacation?" That's what I thought. Then Frisbee said, "No, not on vacation. Roxy doesn't work here anymore," adding, she could not say anything else. I was dumbfounded and kept waiting to read something about what was going to happen to our library. I never read anything anywhere in any of the newspapers or any memos for the volunteers. The next thing I hear is the city has a committee and is accepting applications. How disappointed to lose Roxy Wright. She was moving the library forward at a fast pace. Her number one concern was making the library better for people like me who use the library. She fixed problems. Yes, sometimes in the easiest way. Recently, someone donated a huge number of paperback books to the library, but the library didn't have room for them. One Friday afternoon, in 2 hours, she got the staff together and rearranged the paperbacks, the audiobooks, and the movies. Her plan worked so well. You would only know this if you used the library. Now, all the materials are so much easier to find. I can go on and on. If you want to know what else I like about the changes for real people like me, I'll talk to you later. Ask me questions. We are moving toward the future Bella Vista wants. I love this library so much. I've served on the Bella Vista Library Board when it was a private library, donated money for the operation of the private library. When it became a city library, donated money for the foundation and expansion. With Susan Santos, I edited and helped write the annual fundraising letters for the expansion. Besides that, I've helped stuff envelopes. So you say put up or shut up? Well, I have put up. I want our library to keep moving to the future. I had 3 questions I was going to ask you. What management style is required for the new director? Who is the committee working on with the mayor to find a new director? Where can we send our comments about what we want for our library director? Nope, not asking those questions. I don't need to. Instead, I'm asking you to rehire the person who has been leading us forward to a bright future. Please rehire Roxy Wright as our library director. She has demonstrated she has the best qualifications for the job, bar none. Thank you.
Thank you. Roxy Wright?
I am asking to be reinstated as the director of the Bella Vista Library. According to the City Employee Handbook in the state of Arkansas, A department head can be reinstated with a 2/3 vote of the City Council. So that's why I'm coming to you to hear my case. My record of success at the library for the last 4 years cannot be disputed. As an example of our success during my tenure at the Bella Vista Library, and you all may not know this, we were voted as one of the top 3 libraries in Northwest Arkansas. Since I've been the director of the library, circulation and patronage has increased dramatically. As a matter of fact, in 2018, just this year, we've gained 149 new patrons every month. I think the mayor would be proud of that. Our program has increased exponentially. We've added a homebound service, we've increased our evening hours, we've added a children's librarian, an event coordinator, and just this month I hired an adult services librarian that the mayor approved, and she's supposed to start in September, although I guess I won't be there. I, along with the library staff and volunteers, have been working hard to move the library into the current century and to make it a positive, relevant place for the citizens of Bella Vista. I believe it's a disservice to the library, the staff, and the volunteers to interrupt the progress that we're making. According to the mayor, I was fired because of my management style, although he never interviewed not one person I was currently managing. As a matter of fact, I have the support of 100% of the current library staff. Unfortunately, there were a few disgruntled people, and they are the ones that the mayor listened to, even though their complaints were filled with false accusations and untruths. In the past, the mayor assured me that he knew these accusations were false and that he had my back. I never had a negative performance review, and he even praised the accomplishments that we were making. I believe you all have received my email telling my side of the story, my perspective, and I think you also received an email showing support from my volunteers and staff. I hope that you will read those. I would certainly appreciate your consideration in this matter, and I hope that you will reinstate me as the director of the library so we can continue the wonderful work that we have started in Bella Vista. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Debbie McLean.
I have worked at the library as a volunteer since 2012, and I want you to know that I feel that Roxy Wright has been a tremendous asset to the Bella Vista Library. She has brought so many good changes into effect. I have great respect for her. She's a very honest woman, hardworking woman, and has been a joy to work with. I would very much like to see her reinstated as the head librarian. Thank you.
Thank you. Gill Cowden.
I'm Gill Cowden. I'm here to speak on behalf of Roxy. I want to give you a little background of why I'm here to speak for her. I moved to Bella Vista 15 and a half years ago. At that time, I'd retired from 37 years as an English teacher. I was excited to learn that Bella Vista had a cute little library nestled in a wooded area on a street named Dickens Place. How appropriate. However, my excitement soon dissolved into disillusionment as I found the library not to be user-friendly. The ages-old philosophy of a library as a facility that houses books to mainly be looked at, untouched, and used only by patrons willing to pay and be quiet and studious and leave destroyed my joy. I decided to go to another nearby library instead. 12 years later, after my second retirement as an education consultant, I once again looked at the Bella Vista Library. I found a remarkable change. The library was vibrant, it was filled with patrons of all ages, and had also become an up-to-date, welcoming facility. I can only credit Roxy Wright for her foresight in creating this change. I was excited to begin as a volunteer at the library in early 2015. I volunteer 1 day a week. In the 3.5 years I have served at the library, I have found Roxy to be gracious, helpful, and informative, and above all, always pleasant with the staff and patrons. Clearly, she has striven to move the library forward. She has always listened and responded to questions, taken suggestions from volunteers and staff members, and worked to improve and move our library into the technological age. She has held training sessions to keep everyone fully informed. The changes she made were always to the benefit of the library patrons. Materials were updated and added despite the limited shelf space. Recently, she saw the need to add an area for youth and created a specific area for them, even though we have limited space. She moved the DVDs to the front for the rapidly growing group of patrons looking for current movies and DVDs. A variety of activities for all ages are available daily and weekly. I strongly believe that those few who questioned her management of the library were those who wanted to cling to the old ways of doing things. Unfortunately, one or two people have built a small cadre of followers who believed innuendo and rumor without substantiation. If we are to move forward with our building program and continue to create a fluid, vibrant, active library, we need Roxy Wright reinstated. She has the knowledge and the vision for the future of Bella Vista's library. It would be a disservice to the community to do an about-face now and let the naysayers destroy the progress Roxy has already established. To begin anew now would be a huge mistake. If you wish to see this facility grow and succeed, you need Roxy Wright.
Thank you. Ellen?
My name is Ellen Farwell, and I'm the children's librarian at the Bella Vista Public Library. And I stand here today to support Roxy Wright. I think she had a vision on where we need to go. I do believe, and I agree with the fact that she has taken a wonderful facility. It was a good facility before, but she's very forward-thinking, moving us into the new century and providing the materials and the space and the activities that parents and children are wanting. That's my, I didn't take all 3 minutes, sorry. But
Thanks, Ellen. Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura Clyde. Excuse me. I've been a volunteer at the Bella Vista Library for 4 years, and I believe that Roxy Wright should be reinstated as the library director. I think the mayor has been unduly influenced by a small group of naysayers, some who have never interacted with or have even met Roxy. I hope steps can be taken to rectify this situation. And besides the 13 people here tonight, there were many more volunteers who wanted to be here and who also support Roxy in her reinstatement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. Brian Kelly?
I need to state, too, that I believe that Roxy should be reinstated. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I think part of the reason that we're here is because of a non-functioning library advisory board and a non-functioning Friends of the Library Board. I am a member of the Friends of the Library Board and have been since January. And I think if there was complete disclosure from both the Friends of the Library and the Library Advisory Board, that we would not be here tonight. Roxy, I am familiar with the library mainly as a patron. I moved here 4 years ago with 2 children. I have a 12-year-old daughter and 5-year-old son, and have spent lots of time at the library. I was asked to join the Friends Board this year in January and have attended their meetings and been part of the board and their fundraising. At no point during any of the board meetings was there ever a mention of any problems with Roxy and the staff. One of the, I have the figures of the fundraising, but what's most interesting to me is that while the number of visits has increased dramatically, the fundraising has stayed pretty much constant. Any fluctuation in the fundraising is not attributable to Roxy. What it is attributable to is the Friends of the Library Board. and its members, not these volunteers, the Friends of the Library Board. We had to cancel the sock hop recently. Neither the advisory board or the Friends Board seems to do much of anything. I was curious about the advisory board, and I was asked, well, who do you all report to? And they said, we report to no one. The only one that has been reporting to you all, I guess, I don't know if they have reported to you, is apparently an adversary of Roxy. And part of my problem with the Friends of the Library and its board is that I feel deceived by them. If there was a problem with Roxy, it should have been out in the open.
That's it, Mr. Kelly. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your comments. Suzanne Jessup.
Mr. Mayor, did you say we're not allowed to ask questions?
That's correct, ma'am.
Good evening, gentlemen, lady. I'm Dr. Suzanne Jessup. I'm here representing my background working with libraries. I was an administrator at a university in Arkansas. I wrote the plan for the Master of Science in Libraries for school libraries. I was on the former Board of Trustees when our library here in Bella Vista was a new library, and I saw that there was a city board or group established. I've searched for where that city board is on the city website. I don't see it. I understand there's a committee formed to hire. I do not know when our current librarian was given notice, but the Arkansas State Library Board has posted the hiring description for at least 15 days. My concern is hiring is always difficult. Right now, the Arkansas Library Board in Little Rock lists numerous positions. I'm also associated with the library at Crystal Bridges. Extremely difficult to hire librarians. I am concerned that I'm concerned about the process of due process. My PhD has a lot to do with due process. I'd like to know, how was she evaluated? If you have a city board, representatives, as you did when the city assumed the library, who are they and what evaluation procedure did they use? There's a very clear guideline in the ad for the essential duties and responsibilities listed at the State Library Board of what you're seeking. It aligns very closely with her job description, and how closely was that followed in the evaluation for due process. I have heard nothing that would suggest she has not met those guidelines. And I'm always concerned that sometimes when it hasn't been published, you know, when you go to the library website, it says no job openings. When it hasn't been published in the newspaper, has there been a predetermined selection made? You know, that's just a curiosity, how these things come down. I know I'm out of time. I set my timer, and I appreciate your time, but I would be really concerned about the process for due process in how the city is firing city employees. Thank you.
Thank you. My thanks for all of you taking the time this evening to address council. It's very kind of you to come out. Appreciate it. You're welcome to stay, but I also understand that you may have family obligations, so please feel free to leave if you so desire. Okay, we move on to the approval of the minutes of the July 23rd City Council meeting. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Okay, roll call. Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
carried 5-0.
You may have noted that we issued the June financials a little different in their perspective than we had before in the last quarter. We have added some extra pages in there to try and make it a little easier to see just what's green, what's red, and what's yellow. We don't have a lot, so we're in good shape. And then the actual page that you can go to for each item so that you can see the financial details, and you can also see the financial explanation that Carrie has been able to put together. For example, if you look at franchise fees, we've seen a decline in the cable, and that's directly related to more and more people unplugging from cable and going for streaming. So if you have some further suggestions, I know that Carrie is very open to them, and we would welcome your input.
Hey, I have a question on
Sir.
the state and county sales taxes. You know, they're combined together in one number. And I know the county is basically driving the sales tax increase.
It is.
I'd like to see those broken out.
They are on the monthly that I send out to you.
Okay. Well, even on this report,
Okay.
you know.
Any other thoughts? Okay, thank you. I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read all proposed ordinances and resolutions on the agenda by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Councilmember Wozniak,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
carried 5-0.
The first and only ordinance is amending ordinance number 2016-03 to amend the adopted planning area map to make necessary corrections. If you remember at the work session, Kevin basically said it's an opportunity for us to actually improve the wording, getting away from what he termed as the older descriptions into a better defined description. You can find it in your package. Staff is also requesting that this be moved to third and final. Is there any discussion?
So this doesn't increase the planning area at
No.
all? It just
No.
stays the same, it's just better definitions, and
That's
that's all?
correct.
Okay.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules and move to third and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
All right. In favor of suspending the rules, waiving 3 readings, Councilmember Lloyd,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
carried 5-0.
Thank you. Ordinance number 2018 on this evening's agenda reads as follows for the third and final time. Amending ordinance number 2016-03 to amend the adopted planning area map to make necessary corrections. Is there any last minute discussion before we vote? I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Councilmember Fowler,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Yes.
carried 5-0.
Thank you. The first resolution of the evening is authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a first amendment to the trail license agreement with Bella Vista Property Owners Association, Inc. for purposes of facilitating an addition to the public recreational trail system throughout the city. Again, at the work session, Mr. Rushing was able to address. He's here again this evening, as is Mr. Vernon from the Walton Family Foundation. Are there any thoughts? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Councilmember Wozniak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
carried 5-0.
Thank you, and my thanks, Frank, for making this a much easier transition than having to use the original papers. The last resolution of the evening is authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a 25-year, 4-month lease agreement with the Bella Vista Property Owners Association, Inc. for property to be used as a fire department training facility. Chief Sims, thanks for the extra 4 months under the contract. Is there any discussion at all? Just to review your memory, this is a 25-year lease at $1 a year. It is going to be large enough to build eventually a training facility or a training tower, which in the 2017 ISO evaluation, we actually received 0 points because we didn't have one. I think with the addition of this, we've also got a training officer who is here this evening, and we've also hired the additional firefighters through the grant that we are now setting ourselves on a good course to be able to move the ISO rating now from a 4 down to a 3 and save the residents some more money on their fire insurance.
So I did. I do apologize. I missed the work session. So what are the steps for moving forward on this? I mean, we've obtained the land now, so when will we begin moving forward?
Yeah, we've got the land, and at the budget information session on the 24th of September at 5 o'clock here, you'll have an opportunity to see it included in the 5-year plan, and we'll discuss such things as, if you remember when we passed the financial policies, we looked at reserves and how much in reserves should we hold, how much should we spend perhaps on some of the smaller projects. So we'll talk about that. We will also talk about the longer term, such as the Mercy Way Bridge. So that's where that's going to fit into the conversation, Doug.
Okay.
Anything else?
I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
It seems very nice of the POA to have such a reasonable rental rate. So, it seems to me the POA and city are working together well on a lot more things than people realize.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's really not prime land.
No.
Been there? You need to go.
Even
Take a
so,
four-wheel drive.
yeah, $1
Even
a year
so.
is still a pretty good price.
We don't think all of it's in a floodplain, which is a plus.
Yeah. Wear boots.
That's right. Any other comments? Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
carried 5-0.
Meetings and announcements. The next city council work session will be Monday, the 17th of September at 5:30 here in the court building. And the next regular meeting of city council will be Monday, September 24th at 6:30 here in the court. And I will add that prior to that meeting at 5 o'clock, we will have a budget information session also here in the court building. And the Planning Commission work session will be Thursday, August the 30th at 4:30 in the court building. And the Planning Commission regular meeting will be September the 10th at 6:30 here in the court building. And the Board of Zoning Adjustment will be September the 18th at 5:30, again here in the court building. Thank you for attending this evening. We are adjourned.